What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more of The Cure. I'm laughing because there was a bit of a blooper before this video. Nevertheless, we're returning to Japanese Whispers, 1983, thank you again to Phil, a compilation of non-album singles, and the second track in the playlist is The Dream, which is a straightforward concept. The use of the definite article the or the suggests that there may be some particular significance to a given dream. Ultimately, it could relate to something that is also relevant in waking life. But yes, a dream, the mind's conjectures, scenarios, and experiences during sleep, and thus there is a greater range of what is possible. Of course, some people also lucid dream and take active control of their sleeping cognitive experience. Ultimately, I do wonder whether this will be a metaphor for something or whether we'll actually talk about the distinction between what happens in someone's dream or the dream and their real life. So I'll see what I can catch on a first listen. This is The Cure, the song is The Dream, and it's the second non-album single included on the Japanese Whispers release, 1983.
As I speak, like a tumbling head, I watch in fascination, like a vampire bat. Don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, don't give it away. I will use it up tomorrow if we don't use it today. If we don't use it today.
Crazy song. So definitely, again, and I think Phil made a great point that almost everything is lighter than the album Pornography, but another one that feels lighter and brighter, but definitely a bit quirky, a bit insane. Not arrhythmic, but like these different cycling rhythms, multiple melodic layers, one that came in like halfway and it was sort of like really high up top, another one that was very electric, but like more central in the sonic sphere that my brain sees when I listen. and then there was that like chopped kind of rolling rhythm below with the bass line, which had a bit of funkiness to it. So put all of them together, and it had this like multiple cycles a little out of tune with each other, but somehow like seemingly working, even if it did feel a bit crazy and all over the place sonically. So yeah, and I wonder if there is a bit of conceptualization there, the idea that like a dream is not always understandable. Sometimes it's a bit surrealist, sometimes it's like it makes sense in your dreaming mind, in your flow of experience in the dream, but then when you try to articulate it later, it's like, like, it's weird, like it doesn't really make sense, but suddenly I was here, or like this thing was happening, or I was in this place that wasn't really a place, and so on. But I was thinking as the track began, and it was something like a reference to like the sands or something, which they made me think of a beach or a coastline, that like, okay, well, a dream isn't just the sleeping, like, cognitive experience. A dream can also be a wish. It can also be a goal, whether one that's more realistic or one that is very far away and not likely to happen. But a dream is actually used in different ways. So I wonder if my thoughts about this being clearly, quote-unquote, related to the experience of a dream or the dream when you're asleep might actually be running in the wrong direction, and it could be about someone's wishes or something that they would love to see, even if it's not realistic. But assuming that we are in the realm of a cognitive dream, it felt, again, like the Sonics may be expressing the idiosyncratic nature of a lot of dreams. I'm not quite sure, based on the little lyrical tidbits that I took away from it, what, like, in what direction that would be functioning or in what regard. But as I said, it feels a bit lighter, just also a bit, like, frantic, a bit, like, at odds with itself, which, again, maybe there's some conceptual relevance there, too. I'll admit, I didn't quite enjoy it as much as the first tune on the compilation, but I think it's one that over time it might grow on me. I've talked about this in a lot of my techno reactions. Sometimes I'd get a techno record and, the A side is what I bought it for, and then there's one on the B side where it's like, nah, it's alright, I just don't like that one synth or whatever. And then I listen more, and at least in some cases, I end up liking that B-side tune even more, and I'm like, oh, you know what, it was an acquired taste, but once I heard it a number of times, like, I see, like, what they were doing with this, and maybe I even like it more than the more immediately accessible track on the A-side. So I don't know if that will happen with this one specifically, but by the end, I was enjoying that bit of discordance more than I was at the beginning. So I will say the bass line in particular, that sort of rolling, chopped bass line with a bit of funk sound to it, that really did stand out over the course of the track. And I think Robert always has good vocals, whether they're, those extended ones or the notes where he's like slightly outside the pocket seemingly on purpose, the pained and like desperate vocals that were on the last couple albums, or here where it felt like he was as disoriented maybe as the rest of the Sonics and as my listening experience was. So yeah, I think that is one of the mainstays I've noticed from the Cure reactions, that Smith's vocals always seem appropriate to whatever track it is and whatever sort of stylings it has. So looking forward to more from this compilation, in particular the Love Cats. I am really excited to hear that again for the first time in a long while. So let me know what you think of this, and I will see you next time. Peace.